Okay, so I'm starting a cabbage kale radish combination. I bought red Russian kale, not cabbage, broccoli. Broccoli, I'm not even sure what kind, and radish. I think it was Triton because they were out of the kind I wanted. Anyway, I've got the usual here with the holes in the bottom and a catch. These are heavy duty. I had lighter weight stuff and like those cheap white and black ones you buy, but never again, never again. So I got one ply paper towel this time, and I'm only going to go with one ply and see how that works for me. Less material the better, that's what I'm going for. Seed spread. Now I'm going to put this on top of it, keep moisture in, and I'm going to put a dome that I use for my I'm going to use for my grafting, and that's just to keep it humid in there and keep it from drying out. Day 2. I'm not happy with this grow. This is radish, kale, and cabbage. I'm not happy with this grow because they're different heights and different levels and all that, so I'm going to start over with that. As you may have seen before with the peas, I'm trying to go soilless medium, and the peas are doing pretty good. I was having some difficulty with the sunflowers, but I'm retrying those. And you can't do it with these big holes with small seeds like brassicas. So what I did was I took, and I had this laying around, this is screen, nylon screen material, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the seed for a kale broccoli grow. I'm going to leave the radish out this time, and we're going to grow them on the screen, and we'll try soilless this way and see how it goes. Okay, so I put the kale and the broccoli in this little pill bottle. That's because I found it's pretty decent to disperse the seed, just the way it's designed. So I'm just going to take and kind of sprinkle this around the whole thing here, and let's see if this concept works out or not. So I'm going to stop the camera and finish this and get it nice and even and bring you back. You may have saw when I was first putting it down that the seed was kind of bouncing around a little bit, but I decided to spray it down and get nice and wet. When I did that, it just stuck, which was perfect. I got a good layout there. Now I'm going to take the styrofoam and I'll put it over to keep the light out, and I'm going to stick a dome on top of it, and I don't have one here to do it, but I'll stick a dome on top of it just to keep the moisture in until it germinates, and then when it gets up an inch or so I'll take it off and we'll see how she grows. So there's the dome put on. I've got it closed off, the holes, so you can see you can have them closed off any degree here. I've got them completely closed off, and that's just so I can keep the moisture in until they germinate well. These are my grafting domes, and I'm dual purposing them. Alright, it's only been a few days, 3 or 4 tops I believe. I'll put it in the video here of how long it's been since we got to the stage where I uncovered them. I would say they're between an inch and an inch and a half tall. You can kind of see the flat. Now the roots are starting to come through it, and that's exactly what I want to happen, and they look nice. So I put a mild hydroponic solution down, maybe 150 to 200 ppms. It's got everything that the plant needs, just a very mild version of it. And the reason why I'm doing that, I'm bottom watering so it doesn't flatten these out. That's one thing. And the other thing is I want to make these nutrient dense, just like I'm growing any other thing hydroponically in the garden. So yeah, I believe that will help. So they're very fragile right now, even though they pushed up as a whole, they pushed up that styrofoam board. They're very fragile, so I'm not going to water top down for sure. Well, through the life of this I'm not going to. So because they don't have seed casings or anything on them. So now we're going to let the LED light, which I've got up here now instead of the fluorescent ones, we're going to let that one green these up, get a little tougher, and then I'll be able to take it outside and rinse them and stuff like that. And at that time I may, depending on how it goes, I may do top down watering. I think we're getting pretty close to harvest with these. This is the broccoli and kale mix. I can't tell the difference between the two at this stage, but I'm looking for the true leaves to come on, and I know if I start to see the true leaves, it's time to take these. We're going to take a look at these broccoli-kale mix here, and they're looking pretty good. There actually hasn't been a whole lot of change on them, keeping them extra days in the dark. They're not growing their true leaves much. Let me see here. Let's see if we can focus here. That I can tell, really. The roots look good, but I don't see value of going any further. Honestly, they don't seem to be getting any taller. So definitely think that keeping them in darkness thing is worth it for sure. I just need to keep them in darkness longer before I uncover them and not recover them. So we're going to take these out. We're going to do a harvest on these bad boys as well. And you're going to see that I'm wearing the same shirt because I'm doing it the same day as the sunflower peas. It's just a timing thing. Just a timing thing, but I'm going to do them in 2 separate videos because the grows are different and the plants are different. Alright, here's the kale broccoli mix. And there is no soil, that's just the screen. And yeah, I'll just go ahead and pull it off for you because it was coming out. Okay, that's kind of weird, isn't it? So alright, let me put it back and set up the camera, and we'll go to try to harvest in this. I thought I was going to have to scrape underneath the mesh tray, but it came right off while I was talking to you. Alright, so let's go set it up. Alright, so you saw how it came off. That's the so-called mat. It's actually the screen. And we're going to put that down. And maybe that'll make harvesting easier. So I've got a sack in pocket. I'm going to put it here until it gets some weight to it because it is kind of windy. And let's just go to try to harvest this with you sitting here. I don't think this is going to take long at all. But we're still going to speed it up. Alright, we're back. Man, that didn't take long at all. It felt like it was under 5 minutes. That's the product. We'll set it aside for just a moment. Okay, so this was grown with the screen mat. And this is the leftover. I don't really care for leftovers. I mean, I don't like any leftovers. I like to use as much of the product as possible. I think the screen allows me to get more of the product. But one of the things that worried me was how hard is this screen going to be to clean off. And I'm finding that out right now while I'm talking to you. So let's take a little extra time in case any of you guys want to try this. And give you some more information on it. How hard is it? To clean this screen. Do it in real time. Wow. Scraping it with your fingernails or some other light tool is definitely the way to go. It gets the majority of it out. And then what I think I'll do is, let me show you this. It's a good portion of it out. Oh man, go to the other side and just scrape off the extra roots. It's even better. Alright, so that's pretty good. I honestly expected that to be a real tangled mess. So I'm going to take this screen and I will clean it off by spraying it. And I think I'll even show you that in case you're thinking about it. Okay, so before we weigh these, we're going to spray the screen. Alright, my first attempt is to put the screen back on top of the tray and use the garden spray. Flip it over, spray the other side. I think we're getting a good portion of it this way. Alright, this is what a spray does. I hope the camera's not too bad. And you can see that it's a good portion. What are you climbing that pole for, you silly cat? So yeah, I think after that, the best way besides trying to just pick it like this is just to hang it out. Let the roots dry for a couple days. And then you could probably just wipe it right off. But that is a really good clean just for spraying it. And the mesh in the bottom tray, they rinsed out so easy it's not even worth showing. So yeah, let's go weigh those microgreens. We're in here to weigh these. This is the kale radish. As you can see, a lot of beautiful microgreens here. They're soft. Anyway, there's not a lot of weight to this at all. Not a lot at all. But I have my scale zeroed out, and I'm going to attempt to get them on. There we go. 0.83 pounds. That's a pretty good haul, isn't it? I think I'm pleased with that. 0.83 pounds. Okay, let's go outside and spread these out onto a flat. I wanted to show you something here. It's noteworthy. Excuse me. I didn't let this dry out at all. I just took my cleaning sponge. It's just got a nylon surface, clean surface here, and a regular sponge here. And I use my regular dish detergent inside when I clean these with this. And I just used just the sponge side and cleaned it like the roots weren't even there, and almost everything came off. There's a little bit right here, but super easy to clean up. You don't even have to wait. You don't even have to wait for them to dry off. Super easy. Just thought I'd share that in case someone's considering it and looking at the screen as a disadvantage because it may be a cleanup issue. Not the case. So thought I'd share. So that screening was a vinyl screening, vinyl coated anyway, and I only had enough screen material left over to do 2 of those, so I ordered some aluminum screening thinking it would be a better thing. But the aluminum screening is more difficult. See, it won't lay flat just to lay flat. When you cut it, you get the little pieces of metal, and you just don't want that around your food, I don't think. So yeah, I wasted $10 buying some aluminum screening, and the reason why I'm filming this is because I don't think it's the way to go. I'm going to continue with the vinyl screening. Alright, here are my broccoli kale mix, and you can see the finished product here. Let me get one and put that on my hand here. I don't see any these are barely starting to nub out. This is a really delicate green. First time noticing that for me because I've never done this before. So yeah, I basically enjoyed this grow quite a bit. I think I probably could have harvested this as much as 4 or 5 days ago. It doesn't seem like they really did a whole lot in that time frame, but I'm also going to attempt to darken them and get them a little longer, although these are pretty long. Anyway, we'll play around with it. I'll fiddle with it. Now I grew these on the screen, no medium whatsoever, and this is telling me that I can grow kale and broccoli this way, and I'm assuming that I can grow any brassica this way because they're all about the same. Kohlrabi, maybe even mustards, they're all about the same. So yep, another one. This is Brent. We'll see you later.